So these are some daily contracts, like quests that you do, like daily quests essentially, for progression and stuff, money. And then there's like a main storyline kind of quest thing, I guess. Is like almost looks like a season pass to me. So there's different traders and they cycle and they sell different stuff. And this is your ship dock. You can have like multiple ships, and then you can like build better ships that are like faster or more armor, bigger, better turrets and stuff like that. I haven't gotten any of that yet, but yeah, this is my first time ever playing this game, so I have no idea like anything at all. Going into it is basically a completely blind playthrough. Um, the very first raid I ever did was a pistol raid, and I didn't know where the hell I was, and I was lost, and I ran out of oxygen. So that one was okay, but yeah, this is actually the second raid, and I started getting attacked immediately. When I was like, oh, can I shoot him or whatever, and then I realized like I need to just get in an escape pod and leave. So I've watched some streams of this, like in the alpha test and in the beta test. So I knew like very, very basic stuff about like this kind of stuff, like, oh, I need to look for the escape pod, but as far as like actually knowing what I'm doing, I have no clue. It's literally just blind playing and learning. But that's the most fun, I think. So basically what happened there was I came in with my ship. I'm being attacked on my ship. So I get in the escape pod, and escape pod's pretty small and fast, so you can get away. And I could have gone into the main map, that center part, but since I saw this ship right here, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do my first breach. I breached this ship. I don't know, this guy was either AFK or just totally looking the wrong way. But like, I just started, so the stuff that this guy has was actually like the first decent loot I had seen, I guess. I mean, I get at least from the very beginning, So then this guy's ship starts getting attacked, and I'm like, oh fuck, grab his stuff real quick. If I went back, I could have had that armor too, but I was just panicking because I didn't want to die because I was already half health. So I wanted to make sure I got out with at least something. That's why I just left in a hurry instead of grabbing that. So then I just speed off, and then I realized like, okay, my ship is basically destroyed, like wrecked. I'd have to repair it from 0%, I'm pretty sure, because it was totally messed when I got out. And then I board that guy's ship, I take his stuff, and now his ship is getting wrecked. So I took out one of his escape pods, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just gonna extract. I just got a full kit, like, or at least like, the armor and helmet and stuff was better than anything I had. Yoink! Yo, you don't even have to go into the fucking map. You just stay in space. That was the actual guy, bro. He was like AFK or some shit. Dude, that was insane. Yeah, so that really like opened my eyes up to the fact that you have a little more freedom with how you can run raids, You could stick outside the main point of interest and breach other ships, or like shoot at other ships, or try to get in your escape pod and like park your ship like behind an asteroid hidden somewhere, and then get an escape pod on your ship, and then like go try to breach another ship or go into the map. It's like there's more freedom to how you go through it. Like, I think it needs a little bit more streamlining, just to make it feel more fluid. Like, I feel like the amount of time you spend kind of flying slowly when you're by yourself trying to extract or whatever is You know, it's like if there's no imminent threat, it's really just you going through like an empty space at that point in time, like slowly. I don't know. There's little things like that that I think that over time they may, I guess that's the like by the time, I guess the idea is that by the time you get to that point, you have like better ships, you know, and you can have enough stuff and like to build better ships and faster ships. But at least in the beginning part, like having to do this part each time, like it can be exciting in the beginning because I can like maybe fight another ship, maybe I get attacked, and then like that, which means I could get in an escape pod and then like try to breach them or something, you know, and like kill them on their ship or take their ship. So like those possibilities are cool, but you know, there's also times where you just kind of fly in slowly and then just go in. I guess depends on like what you want to do and what kind of kit you have, you know. So it's like if I ever like my best kit on, I'm less inclined to just kind of like mess around for too long without like either breaching someone to fight using my kit or go into the map to fight using my kit to fight and loot, you know. Another thing that's interesting to me is that like if you go to your airlock, so you dock with the main map and then you go to your airlock, you can sit in this part of the airlock, like your ship side part of the airlock, for as long as you want, and like let the oxygen, you know, time wear down so other people loot and fight maybe, and then maybe you just come in and scoop shit silently. Everybody kind of already had their raid, you know, you AFK or something. I thought that's kind of interesting that there's like an actual place where you can be safe, whereas in like, you know, other games you just spawn in and you're physically there, like someone will find you, but even a cheater couldn't kill you through that door if you don't open it. Found that interesting. Yeah, and I'm so new here, I didn't check. Now I check the airlock name and number. I check that 2-3 times as I'm walking away. This time I just was like so antsy. My first times like inside of the building, you know. I forgot to bring fucking heals. Hopefully these guys have some shit. Yeah, see, at this point I didn't understand or know like why I couldn't loot like certain rigs, like the leather tunic or this thing. So I'm like trying to do it, like going like what the fuck, and it has, because it has that something in it. If it has something in it, you like, can't put it inside something else. But then even when it was empty, I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know. Some stuff you just can't put in a bag, I guess. Like certain rigs with containers, like slots on them. Yeah, at this point I'm just like ready to just take a W also, because like the first pistol one where I couldn't find my way out and had the freaking die to the oxygen, that kind of sucked. So yeah, once I'm like had this stuff, I was like, man, I'm kind of ready to just bounce. I didn't even know that thing was worth anything other than it's a coin, so it's probably worth something, you know. But yeah, at this point I'm still kind of feeling like, okay, we got stuff. Like, it's funny because after you die enough times and stuff, like, or you know, you're like, I was more ambitious with the first kids because I didn't like care about losing them, you know. And then once I had died like a few times, like, I don't know, dude, there's one guy that I feel like was like actually sus, and then one other one that was kind of like, okay, dude, but it could have just been like, he's just lucky or something. But one guy was like actually sus. So once I started seeing people like that, I'm like, bro, just keep the cheaters off, please. Like, can we just have a game for fun that's not driven by RMT and cheaters, man? Like, let's just have a game we can enjoy, please. It's basically just like these parts, like I'm not getting shot at. There's no other ships around at the time I extracted. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, while this is cool, I really dig this aesthetically and the atmosphere and everything. Like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe the idea is that like if you don't have a built up ship, like a higher tier ship, a faster ship, that you sweat. You're like forced to sweat more. Like I'm basically just a sitting duck here. If someone like had like a crazy turret gunner ship or some shit, just be like, oh, I'm toast. But then you get in the escape pod, and hopefully you get away with the escape pod boost. I don't know. It's cool, but I don't feel like it really adds a whole lot to the experience. I don't know. Like, I don't dislike it, but definitely flying in and everybody being there all at once, and people to choose if they're going to shoot at other ships and if they're going to go in and dock and stuff, like, that's much more exciting than just leaving and there's no one around and I got to fly slowly to the thing. You know what I mean? It's all relative, I guess. That second guy was a player. I fucked this shit up, dude. Let's go. Yo, this game slaps. I feel with a few tiny tweaks and like adjustments to smooth things over time and like the right balance choices, keep the cheater population down/out. I think this game definitely has a lot of potential. It's easy to say that, but I think it's easier for me to say that something has potential and play it and not really enjoy it. Whereas, like, the moments where I felt like I was getting a genuine experience in this, like, it's not really about potential then, right? Like, I'm already experiencing it. And then, like, what I was saying before, too, is that, like, the most, like, adrenaline-filled moments and stuff, even were, like, dude, I had, like, a lot of loot, and I had no idea how much I had. But I was just trying to find my way out, and I was lost, because I was, like, my first or second raid, and I was, like, lost, and there was, it's like, I was just fighting, like, a whole bunch of dudes. And then there's actual other players that were shooting at me, the one that killed me. And I was like trying to like run and get around a corner, and he had some like higher angle and shot me, and like, bro, my heart was racing. Like, I felt like, I don't know, dude, it's like, even though it's like just a test for a game, early access, I cared enough about that like loot and that my character in that experience to like make you feel that way without having to have like such low lows or whatever, like bad aspects of the game. That's why I want to see things keep things clean and progressing. I think it could be fun continually for a while. But those things are key. You can't just focus on only developing the game and not keeping the game clean. I think that it's so important. And there's no denying that. Because people will just leave, See, this time I checked the number so I wouldn't forget where I docked. I like that you could just take a quick W too, you know, like if you just need some specific crafting items or some specific item for a quest, or you desperately need money because like a few times I kept losing stuff, and then I had one time where it glitched my whole kit. Like I had a whole kit on like level 7 or 8 with like an MP40, and I loaded into my ship in the dock after I docked, and I just had nothing. So that kind of hurt, like set me back too when I had like no money and I was banking on that kit to make some money. Luckily, you know, I was able to get some stuff with just the pistol run, but I like that you can just like leave. You don't have to like go to the other side of the map. You can just like get shit, turn around, win a few fights or loot some stuff, turn around and extract right where you docked. I like that kind of idea. I don't know, maybe not having to do that every time, but I like that it's an option. I also noticed this thing was bugged in my bag, and I didn't realize it right at the time, but to just drop it and pick it up was the solution. But, you know, worried about not dying and stuff. I figured that I hurt that dude pretty decently, so he was either gonna heal or run or whatever. I took my chances if he'd push me, so I'm already half health, but I wanted to make at least a little money, get some other loot, you know, make it worthwhile. So that's when I went and started looting a little bit, see what I could get before leaving, you know. Yeah, at that point I was like, I'll take what I can get. I'm gonna dip, you know. There was two guys in there. I really wanted to, yeah, you know, kill the one guy and then check the other guy and loot and blah blah. But it's once you die a couple times, like right away, or you know, to some sus shit or something, and then you lose a full kit, and then like the time that my whole kit got deleted, just loading in, like I'll take any little victory, you know. So I just kept playing for that, like the little mini victories, because if all you do is keep going for the big like win, like the big gamble, the big win, and then you just get the big payoff. The big payoff may be bigger, but for my personality and like what motivates me, I'll take the little victories to keep me motivated in playing. And I just know that about myself, you know. So you kind of just have to know yourself. If you can just keep committing everything and gamble the big everything, you know, all in max spin every time, like go for it, you know. But that's like the easiest way for me to burn out on a game, really. Especially if you're not guaranteed anything or progress and you just kind of leave with nothing. You're like, all right, well, that was cool. I'd much rather get away with some goodies, you know, and then feel good. You extract, you get experience. You just keep that ball rolling, you know, instead of just coming to this halt each time. It feels so much better when you just extract, baby. Know what I'm saying? I actually did this twice where I queued and then turned in one of the quests right as I was queuing. Like the timing, bro. basically at this point I'm just learning the basic mechanics because I never played in the alpha or beta tests. I just started for the very first time, so I literally knew nothing, and I kind of just like going into the map and just getting a feel for like the spot that I docked at, and I much rather just learn the maps organically, man. Like there's always infinite time forever to just look at the map when you want to or need to. at this point, I mean, I had decent enough stuff, you know, and definitely feel like vulnerable when I'm in the escape pod, but it's so small, it's kind of hard to spot, and you're really fast and you have the boost, so I just wanted to get out, you know. I was like, alright, I take the escape pod and we just dip. I like that you can just, you know, dictate when you leave and where, going back to your dog, or you take an escape pod, you know. There's other options. It's not just these little you know, entry fights are cool. I think it's like kind of cool when everybody has the same ship. I haven't really had to go against people with like massive like or super fast crazy ships, so that maybe isn't so cool when they can just run you down and kill you, but it's almost like if I'm getting blasted, I don't want to lose my kit and never fight, you know, on foot, so I'm more inclined to just go inside anyways, to be honest. Another thing is that a lot of people played, you know, in the alpha and beta tests. So there's people who have, you know, dozens or hundreds of hours in the game already. So I'm completely blind playthrough, you know, noob, 0 hours. The fact that I was even extracting and getting these little, you know, loot runs and getting a few kills here and there made me feel pretty good, you know, because everybody else got a big head start on me. This isn't release day either. I wasn't sure if I was going to try this game or not, to be honest. I was interested in it, for sure, but I wasn't sure if I was actually going to get it and play it. So this is actually like my first raids are 2 to 3 days into the wipe. So, you know what I mean? So I'm way behind and still felt like I had fun, and that's all that really matters in the end, you know? I was thinking like maybe something where if you're extracting and you've already been in the map and you're extracting and there's nobody else around, like maybe I get like one boost or something to get me out faster. I don't know. It's really not that bad, but my point is that threat I felt or anxiety I was feeling about like potentially losing my loot was almost nothing at certain points. Like by the time you get to like here, it's just like, okay, like I could just be out, right? Like no, there's no risk I could even get in an escape pod and go the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you get to a certain point, maybe it would be nice to like count down your extraction, like expedite it somehow, but like you're in a certain radius and you haven't been attacked. I don't know, just maybe something to explore, because right now it's no big deal, but over people playing hundreds and thousands of hours, eventually it's gonna be like, bruh. But again, maybe then you have fast ships, you have bigger, faster ships, so it doesn't matter. And I just don't have perspective on that yet. That's what I think. I kind of like to take like little alternate routes too, you know, like maybe stall a little bit, you know, or go around the backside of asteroid and see kind of what other people are doing first, and then based off of, you know, where the point of interest is, where the main map is, and where I'm at, kind of make my way towards it. But you could just go in a straight line towards it too. I just prefer doing it this way because I feel like it at least gives you the chance to see, okay, the extract's there, right? Like, okay, someone's shooting to my right. You kind of like get a sense for everything without, instead of just going straight towards the center in a straight line like most people, and it's just kind of chaos.
Fuck you.
Started to realize how important map knowledge is, because if you know the maps, no matter where you dock, you just go to where you want to go, or you need to go for your quest or your contract, and you can go to the good loot spawns and all that kind of stuff. But when you don't know anything, I'm just blindly exploring and kind of piecing it together. So map knowledge is for sure key in these kinds of games where it's not procedurally generated map. Like, you have to know every angle, every corner, every spawn. That's just how it is, but it's just so much more fun when you play blindly, in my opinion, and before you know everything. Once you know everything, there's no mystery, and it's not the same anymore. So I'm just enjoying this stage while I can. So I'm kind of left wondering now, you have this early part where every single little victory, every little piece of loot you get is so important because you have nothing, and then eventually maybe it doesn't feel as much like that because you have so much and you can just craft whatever ship you want and all this kind of stuff. So I'm wondering like how it is to like hone in on that sweet spot, that middle spot where it's not just the beginning like trivial stuff, but it has more meaning to it, but it doesn't just become completely diminished to where your experience is unfulfilling, once you have everything. So, I think I'm just way too early on in the game to really like judge it as far as like long-term playability and replayability and stuff like that. But as far as like value for the money, it's for sure worth it. I mean, $30, I played for 12 hours on my first day. So I already feel like I got my money's worth, and like I played like 14 hours total. So, I mean, if you're talking about like entertainment value, it's like $2 per hour if you break it down like that cost wise. So, to me, it's a bargain. I'm gonna do some experiments on my own, and I'll just run like the base kit, like a pistol or whatever, and just learn the maps, you know. So I'm thinking that's the play, like just go in with no risk and just like learn the maps, and then if I come out with some loot, it's just a bonus, you know. Because going in with full gear every time when you don't know the map and all that stuff it's cool and it's fun, but I can tell you now, you know, I have 14 hours that I played and recorded, and this is just the very beginning. So I'm just, you know, starting at this point. Like these are my first hours of the game, the first raids of the game. So I'm only learning, you know, after this through time how to better optimize the runs and what exactly I want to do with them, you know. So also encountering certain bugs kind of opens my eyes to, like, you can't just bank that you're gonna have your gear. It could just get deleted, you know. It's a very real possibility. at this point moving forward, I'm pretty much definitely just trying to learn the maps and whatnot. Like, there's the second main quest where it's like find the bikes. Like, I still haven't done that. I mean, I cared enough to bring up a map though, so that's the first map that I actually looked at, was the thing for the bikes, find the bike track thing or whatever on the in the mine. I actually pulled up a map for that because I was like, okay, where is this thing? Like, I'm freaking tired of not knowing where it is, you know? So, like, you know, there's a limit to how long before you'll look it up. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how any of these docks work either. Like, I don't know if you go into the same entrance, if that means that you're gonna dock like right next to someone or near them, or I literally haven't seen enough of anything yet to like identify many patterns. So I'm not really sure about all those kinds of settings. overall, though, my main takeaway was I had fun. That's the most important thing. Everything else can be changed, tweaked. You can add items, remove items, add maps, take maps away, add guns, change the stats. You can do all that kind of stuff. But if the formula that you have when you put it all together isn't fun, none of that stuff matters at all. So the fact that I actually had fun, and even, you know, getting killed by like a sus, you know, player, and or, you know, dying because I got lost in my first raid, you know, even those things like didn't discourage from wanting to keep playing because it was fun enough, you know, and that's extremely key. And the fact that it's only $30 is, I don't even know how you could question the value in that. Like, even with this current state of the game, this is a $30 game. In the current game market, there's nothing, dude. There literally has been jack squat nothing for years. So it's not like they're asking like 70 or something. Like, it's $30, dude. It's really not that much, and it has a whole plethora of potential and future adjustments that could make this game last and keep it fun. Like, a lot of fun playing for 12 hours on my first day till I was too tired to play anymore, you know, and I played a few hours after that. So hopefully it stays fun and it stays in a good state, and we keep developing towards a good state, because I think it's got all kinds of potential for future, you know, things like I like events and like quests, storylines, like more maps and factions. I don't know, there's so much like good, like fundamental stuff to be built off of for the long term. So as long as they don't lose sight of what makes the game fun, and they keep working to keep it balanced and keep the game clean, I see a bright future for this game, and they just need to stick with it, because they have a really good idea of what actually makes a game fun. And ultimately, that's what matters, you know? They can throw all these graphics and this and that at you, but who cares, you know, if it's not actually fun to play? So that is the most core, key, fundamental thing, and they have it. So just don't lose it, you know? Just keep it.